Davey, semi-final come up for the club. How have you been preparing for this one?
Boys were back in. We gave them Saturday off. Boys were back in Sunday doing the recovery. Got a wee bit of training time in the park today, yesterday and today. Just looking at the game, obviously they're under new management, made a few signings, so it's going to be a kind of different proposition, different team from James's team. I was at the game on Saturday, so I think it's going to be a difficult game. The park's a wee bit heavy, but that's probably what you'd expect at this time of year. So just preparing for the game, preparing for who we're going to play against, what shape we're going to play against and how we want to play. But we're in a no bad wee run of form ourselves, but definitely want to try and take the fans, try and take the club to a cup final.
This is arguably one of the toughest spells this season. We're playing Falkirk on Saturday, Pars midweek, then Cove on Saturday in the Scottish Cup. Yeah. Has it been hard to stay focused on just the Pars game? No,
to be honest, I kind of been saying it for a while, and it's me. We just look at the next game. Win, lose or draw, you just look at the next game and try and... The Falkirk game got parked really early. So the boys are off on the Saturday. Normally you come in and you go over a lot of the points in the game. Where the next game being on the Wednesday, it never really gives you the opportunity. Again, the style and the result was brilliant for Falkirk, but the style of play with both clubs and how the game went wasn't really... We won the game, we found a way to win the game. It's not how we wanted to approach the game, but we found a way to win the game. So you kind of just park that and put that to bed and really focus on Dunfermline. So we've done that on Sunday. It's fairly easy for me. It's kind of how you work. Just bang, deal with the next game and then really put all your energy and focus into who you're playing next.
Obviously it's a big point in the season. Is this where the fans can effectively push us over the edge and get us, where we want to be?
I thought we had a good support there. I don't know what the crowd numbers were. It must have been about 400 odd, something along the lines.
440, I think.
Was it? So when I came out the dugout and you seen that, it was brilliant. It was really good. So I think it really helps your fans. I feel that the players now have got a wee bit of a connection with the fans. I don't know. That's my perception. When they're going away, they're clapping the fans. We've picked up some big results. There's been last minute winners and stuff like that. So I do feel there's a better connection between the fans and the players now, and probably that wouldn't be hard going in last year, let's be honest, in terms of away fans travelling to games and really difficult. So the fans play a huge part in the game. It really helped us over the line the last probably 10-15 minutes of the game on Friday night, and the difference that makes is incredible. So I may actually thank the fans on Friday when I was doing the TV, but I kind of got caught up in all their stuff. But the fans can make a huge difference. Got a big game on Wednesday. Hopefully we can give them something to cheer about this time in terms of travelling to Dunfermline. And then we've got a huge game on Saturday, but put all our focus into the next game, and the next game's Dunfermline, and try to take the club to a cup final.
It feels like we were playing Pars every month at one point, but Michael Tizzer's now in charge. Does that make it easier or harder to prepare for the game?
I enjoy it. I enjoy James has lost his job. I don't mean that. I enjoy the new challenge. You're coming up against a new manager with a new style of play. So for me, that part becomes refreshing. Sometimes I think you're coming up against the same manager, the same team, and it's very repetitive. It can be quite mundane at times. So it's a new challenge for us as a group, and it probably makes us look a bit harder, because you've got to go and try and see how Tizzer's want to set up, how Tizzer's want to play. Look at the last couple of games that he's had. Obviously we played Tizzer in a friendly when he was a Kelty manager. So I think he's brought a few players in. Young players, obviously the owners are investing in the football club, so I think it'll be a refreshing challenge to go there on cup duty against a new manager, against a new shape in terms of Dunfermline shape previously. So I think, me personally, I'm really looking forward to it.
What can you expect for Dunfermline, and does anything change with it being a cup game?
No, I don't think so. I think the probably game will be a wee bit more open than what it maybe would have been if it was a league game and there's points at stake there. So both teams will go, try and win the game, try and take the club to a cup final. there's a bit of a change of shape. I know Dunfermline have been a 4 at times this year, but they're a structured 4 with Tidser. He's got his shape, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. With James it could have been 3-4-2-1, a 4 at the back, a 3-5-2, so kind of know what we're going into facing Tidser. He's quite structured in his shape, so I think it will be, hopefully the park's recovered a wee bit from Saturday, and it's generally one of the better parks in the leagues anyway, but hopefully we can go and take the club through a cup final, because I don't think it matters what cup you're in. We've got a chance of 3 cups this year, and 4 cups including the league, and we're still involved in 3, so I think that's testament to the players.
That's the window now closed, Davey. How happy are you with it, and is there any loans on the horizon, because that's still open?
Yeah, the loan market's still open. You've still got the free market, which I'm not overly keen on, if I'm honest. If boys are looking for a club in January and have not had a club since the summer, generally their overall fitness isn't quite there. There might have been a few let go late on last night with a view to go and find a new club, so we'll look at that, but fairly happy where we are. We tried to get one in late yesterday, it gives a wee bit of balance, but never quite happened, couldn't quite get it over the line. If anything comes available that's of interest, we'll definitely look at it. We're probably still, again, there's probably still 1 or 2 in the change room that needs to try and get out and look for first team football on loan, so there's maybe clubs in Scotland in a similar position to us yesterday. If you can't bring anything in when the window's open, you're maybe then going and looking at that loan market, so I'd imagine there's a couple of clubs doing that also, so maybe we can move 1 or 2 out and maybe we could bring 1 in, but there's not a lot of choice in Scotland, if I'm really honest. There's not a lot of choice there. I think what you'll probably find is before the championship window shuts, in terms of the loans, there might be some Premier League clubs that are keeping boys around for another 2-3 weeks until it comes to the end of the window, and then they might become available late on in February.
You talked about being still in the 3 or 4 of the cups, Davey. The 18s are also still in the Youth Cup. Will you be heading along to the game, and how pleased were you seeing the progress? I
think I keep in regular contact with Colin, and a lot of the 18s are involved in the reserve games, so it's how we want to move forward as a club. Spoke to Colin, it would be ideally we'd have a B team playing on a Saturday, and these loan players that from the first team and the 18s would be involved in the B team squad. So ideally as a group, as a club, we want to get a B team squad, but we never got permission to play in the league last year. So between myself and Colin and Chipper and Neely, we know a lot about the players in terms of the 18s because of the reserve fixtures, and Colin will always give me a wee update on a Friday in terms of how they're getting on, who scored, and there's always stuff in social media as well. So there's a close alignment. Could it be closer? Probably, but it probably then again comes down to resources at the club and how you do things. But no, definitely it's a pathway for the club. We need to be looking at trying to bring players in. We need to look at trying to give players first team football. But when you look at it this year alone, Sam Colbert came from the 18s, Cody came from the 18s, Lucas came from the 18s, Evan came from the 18s. So there's 4 out of the 5 boys that are in full time came from the 18 setup or came through the academy. Sam Colbert's got on the park, Cody's got on the park this year. So we Evan sat on the bench in a first team fixture. So there is progress getting made behind the scenes, sometimes can go unnoticed, but Colin's got a good group of 18s players. It kind of turns that around, which brings fresh 18s into the building, into the group that we can have a look at. We then try and integrate them into the reserve team fixtures, and then the ones that are showing up well in the reserve team fixtures because they've showed up well with Colin will have opportunities to come in and train with the first team or potentially full-time contracts.